Now, how Bernie Sanders did some things that would make him a bigot? Well, the only thing that I think was bigoted from Bernie Sanders, that I heard from Bernie Sanders, is his support for the crime bill. And I'm going to go over that because, and his support for certain aspect of regime change, not all, but some things he okay with. And definitely how he just blew off the reparations topic. Now, he's gotten on talking points that say I am for reparations only through what Congress can push through, not through what the people who suffered through Jim Crow laws and 300-400 years of slavery. We still got slavery, 13th Amendment. People still suffering. I'm not going to listen to them and determine on what it's going to take for them to be satisfied when it comes to reparation. I'm not going to say if they get a check, they want a check, I'm going to help them get a check. No, I'm saying I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it the Clyburn way. I'm going to do it the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever rule. I'm going to look to our government and work on reparations once you make me president. No, dog, that's not going to work. And that is a bigoted move, because you had no problem doing that when it came to your particular bill. Of course, it got shot down, but you did want to get reparations, a check for your people. And just because you failed on that doesn't mean you failed on this. And just because the topic gonna be talked about whether you like it or not. You don't want to talk about the topic because you feel that it might stir division. Well, guess what? We're stirring division, baby, because we're going to talk about the topic. And the reason why people are looking at Bernie Sanders as a bigot is because of this issue on how he's blowing it off, not taking it serious, not taking time out. Let me tell you something. Much as I love Nina Turner and all some of these other people that was working in your administration and your campaign, they can't determine what the black people need, especially American descendants of slaves need and want, and how they want it, and learn how to implement it, because they already got people who've been doing this for years, from Dr. Claude Anderson to Sandra Darity. I can go on and on. People who already been doing this for decades, who knows what to do and how to do it to really bridge the gap, because you don't know. No white man can know what it takes to fix the problems in the black community, especially if you're not going to spend time with the people in the black community. I'm not talking about on your staff, in the black community, and get familiar with them and get understanding and spend time with them with your pad, with your pencil, and take notes, your audio recorder, whatever it takes, and go back home and dissolve it, suck it in. But to blow that off makes you, to some people, a bigot. That's why I tell anybody that's running, don't you dare blow this movement off, because I'm telling you, somebody's going to win the Democratic primary, and you're going to assume that it's going to Bernie Sanders. But let me tell you something. The black vote, which majority of it is American descendants of slaves, people from straight up slavery, not chattel slavery, not coming from overseas or nothing. I mean, I'm talking about born and bred, came straight from Africa, and some that was already here in America that were dark skinned, that got treated just like slaves too. And that's the story that people don't want to talk about. There were indigenous Indians that were so dark that they got picked up and put in the slave trade. When it comes to trading, it doesn't matter who you are. If you look the part and I can sell your butt and make money, I'm selling it. So no, I don't discount the fact that there was dark-skinned indigenous Indian that looked straight up black that end up in the slave trade too. Sure, there was some that came from the root of Africa, from Africa to the United States, but there was some that was here that got caught up in the mix. But you have to be an American descendant of slaves, and they have to. And people say, "Oh, well, how do you know? How you know that? How you know you're American descendant?" Look, we can find out, baby. What you think Roots was all about? You can find out your lineage, where you came from, up to the point where there's documentation about you and who were your slave owners if you take the time to dig enough. And let me tell you something, reparations will be done on that factor. It will not be done any other way. You will not get reparations without proving that you're American descendant of slaves. And like I said, there's ways to prove it, and you're going to have to take some time out, better time than now. There's some people that teach, well, you were just, you came here to earn your right. You came here to work with white people to help build this country. And I'm not there at that point. I don't believe that. I do know one thing. There were people that came from Africa that became slaves. And I do know there were people that were so dark, so black, indigenous people, black indigenous people in this country that end up being caught up in the slave trade. Why do you say Malcolm X said Plymouth Rock didn't land on us? I mean, why do you think Dr. King said before the settlers came here, we were here? Because history proved that. So for the front runner, the real front runner, don't believe that mess that they tell you on TV about Joe as the front runner. They cooking the books, they're only polling elderly people, and they're only reporting the highest number in the poll. Of course, they're not going to do it on the lowest number. And the news agencies are following along on code with this mess and got you thinking that Joe Biden got most of the black women's support. Yeah, most of the black women 130 and up. You check 45 and down, baby, he ain't getting that. He ain't got that. Well, who has it? Well, Cory Booker doesn't have it. And why nobody's talking about Cory Booker not having a black vote? Or Kamala Harris not having a black vote? It's Bernie Sanders that they talk about, or Joe Biden. I don't understand it. You don't hold up the people who should get the black vote. They're not even offering anything to get the black vote. All they're offering is some funky baby bonds or some lip program. Look, baby, that is not reparations, and that's all fine and dandy. But in the political process, you don't give up something without asking for something or demanding something. Voting to me is like getting married. If I don't know you, I'm not voting for you. I don't do the straight D's down the board. I don't do straight R's. Oftentimes it's mixed. Lately I've been voting green because I have more support for Greens because they actually do something for the community and they don't try to take no limelight for it. I'm very in tune to who I vote for in my area, from the judge all the way to the city councilman. It doesn't matter. I'm in tune. And I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to get to know your background. I may take some time out, come to your office and get to know you. I might even volunteer a couple of days. If you're out there on the street, I may even come with you just to get to talk to you. I'm not a slut voter. I don't just give it up because you're a Democrat, but that's what the Democratic Party wants you to do. It doesn't matter. Our number one goal is get rid of Trump. What, and put somebody that's just as bad as Trump but low-key with it? Don't you understand a lot of those things that Trump have been doing? Obama did some of it too, not all of it, but some. Oh, they put these babies in. I mean, you talking about Obama, the deporter in chief? The stuff Bill Clinton done? I don't even talk about the Bush because Republicans are so far gone, it's ridiculous. But I'm not going to sit here and act like the Democratic Party ain't got their bad marks. They got huge bad marks, strikes against them. But it's just so low key that you never know it because they put a pretty smile and a pretty talk behind it, as Omar said. See, so yes, Bernie Sanders have been doing things that would make somebody believe, oh, you can do this for you and your people, and you can't do it for mine, yet you think you're going to get my vote? Who in the blue heaven and hell are you? I got the platform, Medicare for all, no cost tuition. That's great and dandy, Doc, but that ain't going to help stop us from dying financially. Somebody asked me in the chat, And every time I study and spend time in prayer and read the scripture, it keep giving me scriptures about not falling into the opinions of men. And anytime I go in that chat, or anytime I go in the comment box, I'm falling into the opinion of men. I'm going back and forth explaining stuff and things like that, and my time is just slipping away. And time is very valuable to me in this season. So I get lost. But they ask me, well, how come black people just got to have some separate, and why can't be, because Bernie Sanders have this for all people, education for all, Medicare for all, and that's fine. But that doesn't solve the solution that is going on in the black community. It's only a major help. There is a huge gap. And the only way that gap is going to be done is economically, and it's not throwing money into different communities that need it, because those communities are infiltrated with other different types of races. No, other different type of races are not going through, doesn't have a time marker on them like the American descendants of slaves. They don't have it. It's just like that time marker for the Green New Deal, but yet people will talk about it, they'll invest it, and they'll expect us to have the money to stop it, and they'll never question where we're going to get the money from. They know we got the money. It's just spent in stupid different places. But yet when it comes to black people who are saying we need our reparation that were promised us from the beginning, I mean, if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have built this country to this level where everybody is profiting for it. But now people trying to get all funny about who's going to pay for it. Let me tell you something. We paid it way back on our backs. Some of us was hung because we got tired, fell out in the field, got beat down while we passed out in the field. Y'all don't want to talk about the things that went through with slavery that helped build this country on the back of a slaughter, on the back of murder, on the back of rape, on the back of abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. You don't want to talk about that. You talking about what's, the price that was paid. Yet, as we come out of slavery, we had nothing financially to help us compete. And we've been struggling with that same thing. I don't care how many laws got passed. And when we did start to come up and rise up and build our own towns and build our own banks and build our own restaurants and barbershops and doctor's office, lawyer's office and things like that. We even open our business to everybody, you name it, Native American, white culture, or Asian culture. We open our door to everybody come do business with us. When white people could not get their loans in their own hometown, we invite them to come over to the Farmers Bank. We invite them to come over to our community, and we gave them loans. And what happened as a result of that? The people who we gave loans, they didn't stand up for us, majority of them. No, they took right along with those people who were ready to plot to burn down, drop bombs on our town, and kill our people here in America. There are so many Holocausts in black communities that they don't want to talk about that in the history book. But I'm going to show it on this channel. I put a couple of them linked in my community section on this YouTube channel for you to watch it. We had so many Black Wall Streets popping up. We had Wall Street. Who you think originated the Wall Street concept? It was the black community that did that. Yeah, Black Wall Street's popping up all over the country. And we were financing people who could not even get financing, and we did not label it. We were not racist about it because we wanted to try to bridge the gap, because we tried to say, hey, we're all one. We're going to have each other back. So now when we want to ask for reparation, people want to get all funny about it. Well, I just saw. Why you got that? So for Bernie Sanders to blow that off and continue to this day is not going to help his campaign. Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says, sometimes you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at PayPal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.